After a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, pilot Mills, who is Adam Driver, quickly discovers he's actually stranded on Earth 65 million years ago. Now, with only one chance at rescue, Mills and the only other survivor, Koa, must make their way across an unknown terrain riddled with dangerous prehistoric creatures in an epic fight to survive. They're calling it epic. Okay. This movie has
Pretty
a
epic.
30, yeah, 34% critic score and a 64% audience score. What do you guys think?
Well,
I'll-
it's definitely a movie, I'll say that. I mean, Sanch, we kind of know Sanch's stance on it, but I didn't go in there expecting much, but it definitely wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't know, maybe he can attest to that, but um I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part. I mean, Sanch told me before that it's just a shit ton of flashbacks. And after watching it, dude, like every time something gets good, I'm like, all right, what's the flashback? And then immediately it happens. I'm like, damn, dude.
It's terrible.
So it was very predictable. I'll give it that.
It
Right.
was pretty predictable. Actually, I think I texted in the chat before we're actually recording this, and I said, I didn't think it was like absolute crap, but this is like a very simple movie. There's no depth in this. Like the
100%.
depth that
Right.
they tried to introduce with like his daughter passing away and stuff, like this sounds really cruel, but I didn't care.
No, me too. There was
Yeah.
no emotional connection. Like it just didn't hit at all.
It
like,
wasn't sad at all. And that was the
No.
thing, like, especially as much as they played it on, like, one, like, they didn't even say what she was sick with.
Nope.
And then the
No.
other, before we even get into that, I'm gonna sidetrack right now. Is he's from the future, but he doesn't time travel back to the past. He's just in a different, like, I guess you could say an alien. He's an alien
Yeah.
in our time,
Yeah.
65 million years ago.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
there
just like a
are
different civilization
colonies that
out
are
there.
advanced. Yeah,
Right.
civilizations that are as advanced that they can do that. But I kind of like how they said like a man goes back to Earth like 65 million years ago. I'm like, oh shit, is he gonna like go on a rampage and kill every single dinosaur and he's gonna make them extinct? But I'm like, no, but then the meteor's still coming. So like
So yeah, that was some Aiden when we were walking out of the theater. I said this movie felt like it's really busy. It's got a lot of stuff
yeah,
going on, and it's like
100%.
it doesn't all. You don't really need everything there. You've got they're knocked off course. They're stranded on Earth. It's 65 million years ago, but it's an advanced society. There's no like time travel there. This guy who's the pilot who also apparently took, I don't know, Navy SEAL training, because he's
Yeah.
really good with a
The
gun.
one-man army.
Yeah, everyone else dies. That's kind of predictable, but this girl who he kind of makes his daughter at one point, I will say the point where you thought she was going to die when she's like foaming at the mouth, I did actually kind of think she might die. I just thought like
Yeah.
maybe he was going to go on a solo mission after that. I will say that was the one moment in the movie where I was kind of like, "Oh wow, they're going to kill her right now." And then
Yeah.
obviously he just magically knows what to do and saves her immediately.
Right.
That's the thing is like they didn't even like with all the time that they had and all the flashbacks that they had, they didn't establish a story between him and her. Like he doesn't
It's
have to
hard.
save
It
her
was
at all.
hard. She could. I don't know if it was
Because
better
yeah,
or
the language
worse.
barrier.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
that was
that
better
too.
or
It
worse.
It
I
was
think that was
bad.
worse.
I didn't
Honestly,
like it.
I didn't like that at all
was a-
because one, it felt like it was kind of like making fun of like people from different ethnicities and all that that don't speak English.
I know, isn't it? Thank God that 65 million years ago they were still speaking the same dialect of English that we are, so we are able to
But
understand.
then the worst part is that like it felt like they were making fun of him, but she caught on so quick. Like
Right.
okay, like family or like water, like I don't like it was just like
Home.
shit. Yeah, it's like okay, like I mean, like even as the actress, I know damn well she probably speaks English, and then she's probably on set
Yeah.
like, all right, come on, can I like maybe
Yeah.
learn English? Like they're from the future.
Can
He's got
you-
a gun that has no bullets, and he's got this damn tracker thing.
They can, yeah,
Right.
this
Yeah,
this
he can't fix
computer
his
device
translator
that
and give
can.
her lines.
I know it can do.
You
It
know,
can do
like-
everything. It can calculate stars in space and tell you how far
Yeah.
they are, but it
Yeah.
can't translate.
But that's
in
the
language.
funniest shit about that thing is that it kept fucking up. So it was never working the entire movie. It's
Right.
like, oh,
Yeah.
it can't read unknown planet or unknown atmosphere. I was like, what the hell is going on, man? I'm like, is this thing gonna work ever?
Yeah, at least it was kind of realistic to like technology because it
I
doesn't
guess,
always
but I
work.
mean, they're so advanced. They're literally flying spaceships and shit.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
the one
That's
thing that
true.
I didn't like is they never like specified what his mission was or what his job
Exactly.
was. He's like, "Oh,
We
I'm
don't
going
know.
away. I'm gonna be gone for 2 years." And
We
it's
don't
like,
know
wait,
what
how
the
does he get those
objective is.
discs?
Why
How does
does
he
he
get those?
get? Why does he even have passengers?
Yeah.
We don't even know.
No, it could be really dark. He could be like smuggling these people, or he could be just like a pilot, like taking them to a different planet or whatever
Yes.
it
Right.
is.
Well, he does say that the only thing that he says is like this is different than the stuff that I've done before. Like they're tripling your salary for this. But like you guys are saying, like, okay, for what? What are
Yeah.
they
Right.
tripling the salary
And
for?
like we
Is
don't even
he
see they're on like a remote planet with like nothing. Like there's no technology. They're just like in the wilderness, like on the beach. They don't ever show him at his house or where their city is or anything like that.
Right.
Like, is it high tech or is it nothing?
I imagine it has to be. Although
I
what's
assume it is.
interesting is like they're this futuristic society that can, travel through the galaxy and they wear like hoodies and sweatpants, which is kind of funny, I think.
The funniest
I would
thing
ex-
is that
I would
he
expect something
goes
a little different.
when she wakes up, he's like, "You've been in cryo for a long time." It's like, what's a long time? Like 2 years or
Yeah, I thought that
like
too because yeah, they say that the whole mission's gonna be 2 years. So
Yeah.
it is 2 years, and like my mindset on cryo, like a long time would be like, oh my gosh, you've been asleep for 872
yeah.
years.
But then
Not
the other thing is, if you
you've
go
been
travel,
asleep for 7 months.
if you go travel for 2 years and you're saving 2 years of your life when you travel, but he's the pilot, he's wasting 2 years of his life.
Yeah.
How does that
Exactly.
how does that even
Like
out? When he
his
gets a big
daughter's
pay?
his daughter's already ill. So how is 2 years gone
Yeah.
gonna help her? Like I don't understand
And
that
that's the
part.
thing. It doesn't even justify. He's like, well, I'm
They
doing
didn't
it
have
for
free
her.
healthcare.
Yeah, he's like, I'm doing it for her. But all he is like, dude, she's sick. Like, it's different if she was like, if they showed her getting treatment or something
Actually,
like that, and then
Yes.
he goes and he's like, all right, this is why, like, she's saved. But no, he goes to do it for her. She still passes away, which is
Yeah.
awful. And then he goes off himself. He doesn't even go. He can easily send a message and they receive it. And he's like, oh, never mind. He deletes the message, re-records it, and then he goes outside. I'm like, what is going on, bro? This is like 10 minutes in the movie. I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah,
at
no,
least
that
try to survive.
I think
You still have a wife.
well my expectations for this movie they were a lot higher because I remember
Me
first
too.
seeing this trailer
Yeah.
and I remember sending it to Aiden and I was like, this looks sweet. Like Adam
Hell yeah.
Driver, dinosaurs. I mean, how can you mess this up? And then I mean, come to realize after watching this movie and then looking back at the trailer, everything in the trailer is just like pretty much all the most like thrilling, sort of exciting moments. But we already saw it in the trailer, which kind of sucked. But I didn't
Yeah.
know that obviously. But again, like we said, like there was no like backstory. I thought I thought the amount of dinosaurs in this movie was really lacking.
Dude, they show those shots of all those open fields, and I'm like literally studying it. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
where are the dinosaurs? I'm like, they're nowhere.
exactly.
Like
Like
they're
the first
literally they should be everywhere. There's no plant eaters. And the
no.
one thing I
Yes,
absolutely hated was I was telling Andrew when we walked out of the theater, I'm like, no one really knows what dinosaurs look like, but Jurassic Park did such a good job of making them
yes,
terrifying. Like
yes.
they all look like legit. Like that's when I picture a dinosaur, I think of that.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot of
these ones
practical. That's
reminded me of like Kong Skull Island
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
dude,
And
like
I'm like, dude,
Komodo dragons.
I can't take them serious. I'm looking at it, I'm like, like I'm trying to I'm trying to get involved in the movie, but I'm like, dude, this is like laughable. I'm like, these look like shit.
And I think another thing, like with what I was saying, like with the plot being busy and everything that was going on, it just so happens to be out of any day that he could crash on Earth, the day that the fucking meteor is gonna hit to blow up all
Right.
any day in the next like
Yeah.
65 million years, and he just happened to hit it that day. Man, that is some
Right.
You could
shitty
have gone
luck.
64 million years ago. You had to go 65.
64 million in
Or
3 days
at least
before, yeah.
66, he would have been able to just turn around. But I do like how they kind of like, because I mean, like I said, when I went in, I didn't expect the meteor to play any factor,
No,
because
me
that's like what
neither.
we hear,
Yeah,
like
you caught me
growing
off.
up, like that's the history of it
Right.
accordingly. But like I'm like, oh, okay, like he's gonna go there, he's gonna kill all these dinosaurs, like this is about to be crazy, like he's just gonna go ham. And then we see him with one gun and a bag full of like little mine bombs, and like that's it. Like, dude, you're so futuristic, you know, like you're
You don't
so
have an Iron Man
established.
suit.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't have like some crazy shit like some HUD on his visor when he takes it off, and then I don't know. That was just the thing. It kind of like it was like a buzzkill for me because
No,
I wanted him to see. We saw 4 different species of dinosaurs out of
Right.
the entire movie.
Yeah. There's
not
probably
only
like
that, but
total
you've
of
also
15
got
minutes.
like
Yeah.
a specific scene that comes to mind is when they first encounter dinosaurs and he's first about to use his gun after he just fell off the tree, like basically broke his arm and should be knocked out or at least incapacitated. I will give Adam Driver credit, like how he was acting there when he was like,
Yeah.
like and like couldn't catch his breath
Oh, he did
and
a good ass
everything. Like
job.
that was a good ass job because like that
Mhm.
is now I don't know if I'd be able to get up and shoot a gun. But with that said, that scene where it shows her on the beach and you can just hear him blasting in the background.
Yeah.
I didn't care about her on the beach. I want to see him going ham with the
Oh,
the
yeah.
laser gun,
Right.
and see what's happening there. Not I don't really care about her. Like I know she's not going to die right here on the beach. So
The craziest shit is that gun was one tapping those smaller
Yeah.
dinosaurs, and then he literally just killed 2 T-Rexes.
God,
Like,
I
they're just
hated that.
dead. And then I'm like, all right, what happens when archaeologists discover the pods and all that shit? I'm like, when do we see that? Like, are we gonna see
those
that
ones
in our
got
lifetime?
specifically hit by the
I
meteor.
liked how, or I didn't like, but also you mentioned that bag of grenades that he has.
Yeah.
I like how, or I didn't like how he just gave all of them to her and she
Yeah.
wasted all of them.
And he
with
does it
him.
one time. He's like on off, on off.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, she's gonna blow you up. Even
So
speak
she wastes
English, she can't
all the
understand
grenades.
you.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
throws. Yeah, she's like, oh well, I got one threat. I might as well just drop all the bombs I have.
And the little baby dinosaur that you could just
Yeah.
fucking punch. It's like, God, man.
And
But
also
go
when
ahead.
they're in that tunnel, and he's picking away at the cave and he's like, oh man, I wish I had some sort of equipment or something like that. And then finally he comes to realize that he has
Yeah.
one left. Like, took you that long just to realize you had one? So then
Well, I don't
that's when
even
she
think
finally
I don't
goes
think
up
he had
there.
one left.
Because I thought he threw it into the cave and it kind of detonated a bigger hole so that way she could go through.
Yeah, but isn't the part where she dumps all the thing on the dinosaurs after that, or no?
I think it is.
It
Or
is. So technically, he had a whole bag of them with him.
It is because he
That
gave
makes
her
it
the
even
bag. No,
worse.
because remember he gives it to her in the cave. He uses one to blow up the hole. Then he
Right.
gives her the bag of the
Oh,
bombs,
okay.
and then she crawls in, and I'm like, dude, she's dead. Like she's gonna blow the place up. And then after that, that's where she wastes them all on the fucking
Yeah,
little
but why
baby
didn't he
dinosaur.
just try and use more of them in there to blow up
I
the
don't
cave?
know. I mean,
Also,
I guess
but
it could all
another
collapse
thing
on
to
them,
think
which is-
about in that, I was like, okay, like they would 1000% no longer be able to hear after one of those blows up in a cave. Like, without a doubt, you would be completely deaf permanently. They just got up and shrugged it off.
Yeah,
Right.
literally. But I thought the another funny part was, oh no, when the cave collapsed and he thinks that he's stuck, when he's like freaking out, you know, he's
Right.
like having a meltdown. I'm like, all right, like this is good acting.
No,
And
he
then,
did good. Yeah, I
yeah,
leaned over to you. I
and
said,
he
just use the
definitely like,
force.
yeah, and that's the other thing too is his character, like, cut your hair, do something. Like, I feel like he's established in that look of Kylo Ren, like that
Yeah.
long, slick black hair, and like I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine seeing him any other way.
I think they did him a good job too with like he did progressively get his ass kicked throughout this movie and they didn't
Absolutely.
hold back. I noticed this on his appearance. Like there was no like towards the end where he looked like he was touched up. No, like he literally looked like he rolled in shit by the end of that movie. Like
Yeah, because he was in a pile of
Yeah.
shit. You remember?
Dude, yeah.
I don't know how he survived that. I don't even know how his hand reached back up and grabbed the stick.
Yeah,
I
he's
have
already
no
submerged.
idea.
How does she
I
even know where
would-
he's
if-
at? The
Yes.
quicksand is completely still. I'll be like, where is he? And then somehow the branch goes in.
Yeah.
But this movie definitely reminded me of obviously The Last of Us because we're getting that
Yeah.
you know, dad daughter kind of
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
story. But it definitely reminded me of Prey. You know, like pretty
I
much
thought
everything
the
that we
so
saw
I
was
thought the
Prey.
same thing actually. I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that, because I thought the same thing, because you had like this advanced technology in this like prehistoric time, kind of
Mhm.
how
Right.
Prey was, but I liked Prey better
Yeah.
personally.
Oh yeah, no
I
doubt.
guess.
100%. But how
I also
what
I had different expectations for this. Like watching the trailer, I genuinely thought this was a time traveling movie. Like
that's what
that's
I
what I
thought
thought.
too. And I would have been like, dude, like the trailer did such a good job of getting people in the
Oh
theater
yeah,
Yeah,
because I saw it,
they
especially when you
tricked
sent it to
me.
me. I'm like, dude, this
yeah,
looks badass. Like Adam Driver just gonna go ham on like
yeah.
dinosaurs, and all they showed was the T-Rex too. Like they didn't show
Right.
any of the other bullshit dinosaurs, and like that actually looked scary, like in the trailer. Then you're watching, I'm like, dude, like go fight some dinosaurs, man. Like
Yeah.
get bit by a dinosaur. He gets eaten in that cave, and his arm's completely fine, no blood anywhere. And I don't know. But the one funny thing I thought was when he's originally off the ship, like just looking around at everything, he sees that big ass footprint in the ground,
Yeah.
and then he looks down the cliff. You see a big ass T-Rex, and he
Yeah.
doesn't even do anything. He's like, and then the little baby T-Rex or whatever the hell kind of dinosaur jumps on him. Like he's
Right.
not like, holy shit, we got to get out of here. Like that thing was massive.
Right.
Like what
I
the hell
think
is that?
I think this movie too, I don't know if you guys thought it. It did have like a couple of decent jump scares that I was like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah,
Yeah, there
I
was a
didn't see
couple.
that. I didn't see that coming." But
a
that
decent amount.
still didn't make it a good movie. It was more
No.
just
Yeah,
like,
no.
"Oh,
There
Another
was a
funny
couple
got
thing
me."
scenes, yeah.
Another funny part I thought was when after that scene that I'm talking about just before, he hears the bushes rustling and then he goes for it after he just saw that big ass dinosaur. And then it's the girl. And that's the
Uh,
thing is like I don't even think he was with her enough to see her face enough to like go and like start chasing her. Like I would have been like, holy shit, is this planet populated, you know? Like
yeah.
is this someone that lives here? But then they're just doing that little dumb slow chase through the woods and then
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amounts of walking in this movie is just ridiculous. I mean,
yeah.
I enjoyed like how the landscapes of of how they made Earth look. I like the different landscapes. I thought they did a good job with that.
Mhm.
And then like there was a lot of anticlimactic moments though. So like when he
Yeah.
first crashes on Earth and he's kind of in that pond and he goes up to the door and you see this like she's just like
Blood.
blood. Yeah.
Yeah,
See
what
blood.
was that?
I don't know.
I mean, either.
So he opens the door and
Yeah.
then we see like some sort of animal or some
They
reptile in the water. Nothing ever comes of that.
don't even attack him.
No. And then fuck, I
Yeah,
can't
that's
think
a good
of
point. Actually, I forgot
there
about
was
that.
another
Yeah, you
part.
just don't even see that.
No, but
Yeah.
that part that you're talking about, right when it's going, the lights are flashing, he's all like scared as shit, and he's
Mhm.
ready to go. And I'm like, damn, like something's it's already about that, like shit's about to hit the
Yeah.
fan. Like someone's gonna come in there, he's gonna see a big ass dinosaur, and then like he should know to like prepare. Like he should have like scouted the area, learned the weaknesses of the dinosaurs, did whatever like shit that he could have done. It could have been like, I don't know if you guys ever played the video game, but it's like Tarek or Tarak.
Tarkov. Yeah.
No, not Tarkov. It's like the old GameCube
Oh,
dinosaur game where it like takes place in the city. You're just shooting dinosaurs, basically.
I'm not
I,
sure.
I
I,
never
I'll
played
send it
that.
to you. But it was like that's what I like thought of when I saw this trailer. I'm like, damn, it's gonna be like a live action Tarkov, and it's gonna be
Right.
sweet as hell. But no, we did. It was like you said, it was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
That part. The other part when he's like in the cave and like, or it was one part where the music got really loud when it's like a shot from front and like all the back is blurred, and I'm expecting something to like pop up, but nothing ever does.
Mhm.
And then the music cuts out. You're like, oh, the suspenseful music's coming here. Here's a jump scare. And then nothing
Right.
happens. I'm like, all
And
right.
another thing I want to point out, they're in the cave when they're like going to sleep. I'm thinking those things that he put down, they're this advanced society. Lasers,
It's
maybe
gonna
a
be a
shield.
dome around him, a shield. That's what I was waiting for, man.
It's a fucking motion sensor
Yeah,
that
that's it.
beeps.
I'm like, geez, man. You got all this shit, and I was really hoping, like, all right, step in the circle, and then like some laser,
Yeah, I
like,
thought the same
Yeah.
fortress
thing.
was gonna like build around them. I'm like, all right,
That would have been a good idea. Yeah.
that's what I
No,
was expecting. And then I'm like,
yeah, me too.
when that didn't happen, I'm like, all right, well, like, what else could he possibly have? Like they could have made this movie so much sweeter.
Yeah. Yeah, not only that, but like that T-Rex, that first one that they interact with there when they're in the cave and they're woken up from their sleep. It's like, okay, it's scary for 10 seconds, then they go down the cave and moving
And
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you don't see it until the third act.
Yeah.
But you hear some shit after that thing crawls in her mouth. You think that there's some big ass bug like down the end of the tunnel, and then the T-Rex comes. So you're like, oh shit! Now you're focused on the T-Rex instead of whatever noise they just heard behind them.
Right.
And then they dive down the hole, go towards the noise.
Yeah.
I don't even think that T-Rex could have gotten in there.
I don't think
Uh,
it could have
I
either.
don't think it could have either.
I
That thing
don't
was
know.
huge. That thing was
Yeah.
huge at the end.
And then the
You
worst
could've
part
just
was when they're
sat
like
there and
fighting and
shot it
stuff.
in the mouth. It would have got
Yeah.
annoyed eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, he lit it up. Like I was gone and all that. Like it was all
Okay.
bloody and shit. But then I was expecting I don't know when they especially that like ending scene when the pod isn't in the correct like position for takeoff. I'm like, all right, just literally the dinosaur's gonna hit it, it's gonna move, and then it's gonna take off.
Yeah,
And
I thought
then
the same thing.
they got two big ass T-Rexes there. They're not even fighting each other. I'm like, isn't that like what dinosaurs did? Like they just asserted dominance.
All right.
Pretty
It's
much, yeah.
literally-
They
yeah, it's
generally
wild.
weren't like boys, especially the
Yeah.
from our understanding, like the big predatory like
Yeah, you're
meat
the
eater
apex
ones.
predator, like,
We're not
yeah.
generally like, hey, let's go team up. No, it's more like
Yeah,
I'm gonna
No,
kill
they
you.
should be fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like I said, Jurassic Park definitely it raised the bar, it set the bar, and that bar will never be touched, in my opinion. I don't think
I
anyone will
personally
ever touch that.
little off from 65, but did you guys like the Jurassic World movies? I did not personally.
I like the first
did.
one. I don't
First
like
one
the
was
second.
good.
I don't like 2 or 3
No,
at all.
Okay.
I think
first one was
2,
definitely good though.
the second one, it just builds. It just builds for 3,
Yeah,
essentially just letting the dinosaurs roam Earth, and then 3, it's like not even focused on the
dinosaurs on Earth.
Yeah. So
It just
Yeah, I don't like
happens
those.
like
Okay.
they
I
show
never
like
saw
little
3. I
flashbacks
saw
and
1
like
and 2.
news things.
okay.
Three's
Yeah.
not awful, but it's definitely like after that second one, you're like, all right, this isn't Jurassic Park. Like
No,
this is like some other new shit.
I think the first one holds up good though.
First one was really good.
Yeah, I
First
enjoy
one
that
Because
one.
I'll never forget
Not
going to the
bad.
theater and watching
one
that
I didn't
opening night,
like.
man. So sick. Just Jurassic World.
Yeah,
What'd you guys
and I
think
mean,
of what'd you guys think of that final battle though? Like in terms of how that last dinosaur died?
Yeah, that was nuts.
I'll
When,
be honest,
the
it's
girl-
not
she
what I
stabbed it with the
teeth.
expected, but it
Yeah.
was pretty horrible.
Yeah, okay. thank you.
So-
Yeah, it was terrible.
No, I
That was
expected it
terrible.
because obviously we see her pull that tooth out and rub those berries on it. I'm like, all right, it's dangerous for a human. We don't even know, like, it could just be like a berry, like, oh, you get diarrhea or you get sick, like you don't die, your skin doesn't melt or do whatever that is. But the one thing is, I didn't expect those geysers to be like boiling water because he was laying completely underneath one, getting showered by it. He was fine. Like, remember at the opening scene, I was expecting him to cut up and his hands were like bubbled and boiled.
Yeah, no, I
nothing, like,
agree.
You
He
just
didn't
hear
get
it like sizzling. I'm like, all right,
um
maybe it's acidic. No, it's not.
no, I thought the same thing. Like when that first one blows up and he's early on in the movie and there's that the bones of the dinosaur there, he's just kind of like getting sprayed with this what you can assume is like 100-degree Fahrenheit water,
Yeah.
and he's just like kind of that's not even a good like 200 almost.
Well, maybe he had a
200
high-tech astronaut suit that defeats the elements or some
Yeah.
shit.
Okay, well, what about at the end when he's in his fucking gray t-shirt and
Yeah.
sweats?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is you saw what the geyser did to the dinosaur. It completely melted his flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
Like,
that was
jeez.
neat, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't
I like-
awful, but
But
I don't
yeah,
know.
no, how
I
the
just- yeah.
dinosaur died with
I
her
did not-
stabbing it in the eye with
That was
berry
ridiculous.
berry tooth. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it gets any worse than that. And she just like
No.
knows to aim right for its eye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
that
cool.
was- that was bad.
I don't-
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely a movie. I definitely would not recommend this movie to anyone.
No.
I mean, especially
No.
like I said, I mean, I'm gonna keep going back because I mean, Jurassic Park by far is like one of the greatest movies franchises of all time, in my opinion. I love those movies, I enjoy it. Lost Worlds is kind of iffy, but 1 and 3, man, like you can't go wrong with those. And like I said, they set such a bar for dinosaur movies, and I feel like watching the trailers, seeing this one, and like being excited for like some kind of competition for Jurassic Park, going to see it was complete opposite.
Yeah, I would
It
say
was a
if
complete
you
180 after I
if
walked out of that
if you
theater.
were obviously because we're a little bit older now, we're not as scared. But like Jurassic Park, the first one, when I watched it when I was really young, it scared me
Yeah.
as a
It's
Oh
kid.
yeah, the
terrifying.
I
kitchen
think if
scene,
I
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, right there. I
Yes.
think if I watched this as a kid, I don't think I would have that same effect. It's just not.
The scariest thing of that was the fan dinosaurs, man. That would fan out.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
what you're
those
talking about.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was terrifying. I'm like, I
Yes.
pray. I'll literally walk out of my house every day. I'll be like, I hope I don't see that shit. Like, well, they're extinct.
But yeah,
But-
this was like I think we've touched on the trailer kind of dupes you. Like you think
Oh,
it's
it
gonna be a
fools you.
lot
I
better.
mean, but hey, that's good
Yeah.
marketing, I guess. I can
That
give
is
it to them for
excellent
that.
marketing.
Oh,
A1.
yeah, because I was excited to see this. And even when the reviews came out, everyone's like, dude, it's shit. Like Josh was saying, oh, the reviews are so bad. I'm like, dude, it can't be that bad. I'm like, we
It
never
had to
go
be
off of
cheap
ratings,
for the
like
cast.
regardless.
There's
I
what,
was excited
4
to see it.
actors?
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
literally, yeah.
And they use pictures of probably the editing crew and all that for the cryo passengers.
Those are
But,
those are someone Adam
yeah.
Driver's yearbook photos or something.
But I mean, he did a good job. I think that the
He
one
did.
thing that we
He
didn't
did,
mention
yeah.
was like, I don't know if you guys saw, but throughout the entire movie, like he's gassed. He's like always huffing and puffing. So like you think he has asthma or something. And it obviously is like a respiratory disease that he must have carried down to his daughter, you know. But then it's like, all right, like maybe he has it too. Because he's like,
Oh wow, you are thinking that?
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Because he's
That's
huffing and
pretty
puffing,
deep.
dude. Like he can't catch his breath at all. He's
I just
always
figure he can't catch his
gassed.
breath because he's getting his ass handed
Yeah,
to
That's
him
what I
that
thought.
too,
That's what I
but
thought.
that-
every
you-
10
that can
seconds.
take that into
I like your
consideration, too.
theory way more.
Yeah, that
it's
is-
I
a
mean,
lot-
like I said, I was trying
it's
to
a
get
lot
involved. I was
deeper.
trying to bring more depth in the movie that had no depth.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
But like, I was like, all right, maybe he'll be like, oh shit. Like midway through the movie, he tests himself with like some futuristic shit. And he's like, oh god, like you
Fuck.
have to get this medicine. You got to get out of here.
I think I would have definitely not have gone through all the pain that he did. I would have grabbed that bag of grenades and just swallowed them.
Well, hey, he almost did. He
I
coulda-
was just taking
But
that bag and
Sage-
whoop, swallowed
Sage,
them
I'm
down.
dying.
You're not going
we're
home.
seeing all those asteroids come down, and it's just like a rainfall
Yeah.
of all these asteroids coming down. Like, dude, they're bombs. They're literally missiles coming down. Like, you got to get the hell out of there. He's
They're just
walking. Yeah, they're
walking,
walking.
yeah.
And then I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, watch.
I leaned
that-
over to you, Aiden. I go, yeah, don't. I go, no rush, take your
No
time.
It's just
But the
a
funniest
meteor
thing is we
coming.
see him go into quicksand, and then we see him running from that dinosaur, and then he twists his ankle. It's like, oh god, like he just broke his leg. Like he's for sure dead. And then he's fine, I guess. He's going back, and I'm like, dude, imagine the end is like he just gets plummeted by an asteroid or a meteor. Like that's it. Like all that just to get killed by a meteor. Like it honestly would have been a better ending.
Yeah, literally, it might have been more
Yeah.
satisfying.
But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It was
One
a.
thing-
I'm looking up. I knew it was large. The blast from the asteroid that did hit Earth that struck the dinosaurs back then was the equivalent of 100 million megaton nuclear blast. It
Yeah.
was everything within a 10,000 mile radius, which is basically the entire Earth, was heated to around 5 to 15,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
I guess
So-
instead of taking
and
this
he was
on-
walking.
instead of taking this out about dinosaurs, instead of basing this movie on dinosaurs, they could have literally just called it an origin story for Pangea. That would have been
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
This is how all the countries or the continents were all created.
Right. I
But
did
I'm
enjoy
look-
seeing Earth get blasted by the meteor at the end.
Yeah,
though.
that was pretty
Yeah,
I
me
did
too. I'm
like
glad
seeing
I really thought they weren't gonna keep that in there. I'm glad I got to watch the whole thing.
What was
Yeah.
it was like from the creators of or the producers of
A Quiet Place.
A Quiet
think,
Place,
yeah.
and what was the other one?
I don't remember.
There was two of them. I'm seeing that one of the directors worked
Yeah,
on
that's
A
why
Quiet
the
Place.
audio was so loud in our theater.
Audio was loud as shit. I don't know if we were just in a small theater, but
Yeah, I was in a small one too.
yeah.
Yeah, but I felt deaf
But,
after we walked out.
But no, the it's showing me that the director of this movie is directing that new Boogeyman movie, Stephen
Oh
King
shoot.
Boogeyman
Yeah.
movie that's coming out. so that might be another letdown.
Hopefully not.
So hopefully not, but I mean, yeah, from the writers of A Quiet Place and Sam Raimi.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Damn. I didn't even see Sam Raimi on anything.
I did think it was a little weird. I haven't seen a movie like that in a while where it cuts to the credits and it's still the movie flowing. How
Yeah.
this was. It was like
I
still
walked right out right after it.
Yeah,
ended.
so did we.
we.
Yeah, we weren't waiting for the after credits scene.
No,
Nah,
no.
nah.
Where he's like, "Oh my
65.
gosh, my daughter is alive. They found the cure. They put her in cryo."
Yeah, that's the crazy shit they have like on Google. Just shows 79% people like this. This movie had 2 directors, but it doesn't say anything about Sam Raimi producing it. It looks like these guys, Brian Woods and Scott Beck, the 2 directors, are like a pair. So I don't know. But yeah, I guess we can get into scores if you guys are ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
like you said, Andrew. I mean, you could go ahead and say it. You can say your score if you feel that is deserved.
I'm gonna drop it a little bit.
I don't think it's deserved.
Yeah. So
We were gonna go
originally,
with yeah.
I'll start us off here with this review, and I'll start off with my score. Actually, originally I was gonna give this a 65 out of 100 because I thought that would be fitting, but as I drove home, I thought, nope, even that seems a little too high. So I didn't think this movie was complete dog crap. I was
No.
disappointed. My expectations were higher. I don't know why. I don't know. I thought Adam Driver, I was like, here's kind of his redemption, after he butchered the house. Well, he didn't do too bad.
No,
Writing.
he's only good thing about those movies.
I was gonna say
I
the
think so,
writing
yeah.
in
Yeah.
those movies was
Yeah.
bad. He did good in Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe this is his chance at redemption. Well, here's another example where he did a good job and the movie just happens to kind of suck. It's just it is what it is. I would say if this hits we kind of covered everything about it. If this hits a streaming platform and you haven't seen it, maybe you watch it.
I don't even think any
Netflix.
streaming platform's gonna take this. So.
This will probably be on
Paramount Plus,
Sci-Fi in like 2
Probably
years.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah, something
This is some
picks
shit you
this
see
up.
on TV that you just
Yeah,
absolutely
TNT or
skip.
something.
It might be worth checking out then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't see a lot of value in it. With that said, I am dropping my score, but not a ton. I'm gonna give it a 53 out of 100, just over that like halfway point for me. It's a very midway movie, one-time watch, if that. You can go without seeing this one, and your life will be just fine.
Right.
You want to go, Saints?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than Andrew.
You're good.
I think I'm the lowest out of all of us for sure. I guess my expectations were so high for this movie. It just was such a big letdown. I mean, as a kid, of course, I was a huge dinosaur guy. I feel like every boy as a child had some sort of
100%.
dinosaur love. And yeah, I mean, just to see like I said, anticlimactic, the amount of dinosaurs that aren't we only see carnivores. Like we see carnivores.
Yeah, that's what
you know,
there's no
omnivores,
plant
we see
eating.
herbivores. We don't see anything like that.
Nah.
Adam Driver, I mean, he gave it his all, but I mean, like we said, that language barrier, it didn't work. I
help.
mean, no,
No.
it didn't help at all. No emotional connection to or his daughter or this little girl. I didn't feel any of that. I mean, there was maybe like 1 or 2 scenes that I thought were kind of cool. First, when he was in the cave and he had that kind of like a little radar and he saw the dinosaur breath right behind him. I thought
Yeah.
that was a little cool. But then
Yeah.
again, that was in the trailer as well. So,
I only saw the trailer once. I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
but ending I didn't like. It was just such a big letdown for me. Man. I just couldn't. I mean, I checked my phone as I was in the theater. I don't ever check my phone in the movies. So that said, I'm gonna go with a 45. 45.
Fair. I think that's fair.
That's solid.
I will say
Yeah.
that too, Sanch, before Aiden goes. I don't usually check my phone. I did actually the same thing.
I checked my
just to
watch.
see-
I checked the time.
Just to
I
see
was-
how
I
much
was like,
time
oh,
was
Yeah,
left.
this is almost over. Let's
I didn't even
go.
get home from work, man. I went straight from work straight to the theater, and I was like, damn, like walking in, I'm like, I really hope this movie isn't as bad as people are saying it is.
I will say this before you go, Aiden, real quick, because I
Yeah.
forgot this. If this movie would have been any longer than the whatever it is, hour 35
Oh,
minutes,
100%.
this would
Oh.
have been way worse, in my opinion, because
I
it
would have
just
even
been more.
gone.
It'd have been more
even
filler
seen it.
junk.
Yeah.
I will say that's the only saving grace that you will only burn an hour and a half
Yep.
of your time on this
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely felt like a quick watch. But I mean, going into my take on it, Adam Driver did do a good ass job throughout the entire movie. I think, like I said, it was just poorly written. Like there's no crazy events, like everything, like I mean, you guys basically said everything, but like you feel no attachment to his story. Like there's so many plot points that they just don't hit, and it literally leaves you walking out of the theater instead of like, damn, I like this movie. It's like, whoa, what about that? What about this? Like you're just confused, and it makes you mad. Honestly, it pissed me off. But I love Adam Driver, man. Like I don't know if you guys have seen like most of his movies, but Logan Lucky's a good ass movie. Black Klansman's another good ass movie. Obviously Star Wars, and I don't know if you guys saw Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson, but that was
Heard
another
good things
good one.
about
I
it.
did not.
Yeah, no, he's just a good ass actor, and I mean that's the thing is like a lot of people only know him from Star Wars and all that, but
That's
I mean
fair
it's good to
enough.
see him in other roles.
Right.
I mean it doesn't hurt to go and try new things, but this movie is a complete letdown. Like I said, the dinosaurs we only saw carnivores. Two, they look like lizards. They didn't even look like dinosaurs, and that absolutely pissed me off. Like it made me laugh, honestly. But I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I feel like we could have written this script 10 times better. Like all we need is the idea, man. Like if these guys were to pitch me this movie and like told me word for word what was gonna happen, I'm like, dude, change this, change that, change that. You got a good ass movie. You got an original script. Like, like that force field of the motion sensors. Like, you know how
Yeah.
much sweeter that would have been? Like
Right.
the movie
there's
just could have been better.
I think that's what is disappointing. There was a lot of potential that they.
there was so
didn't-
much
Yeah.
potential and they just completely shit the bed on
Wasted
it.
it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll cut it short. I feel confident giving this. It wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, so I'll give it that. I mean, it definitely sucks for a kid if this is going to be their first movie. They haven't seen Jurassic Park, and this is their take on dinosaurs.
Mm.
Like
Oof.
they're gonna have a shitty
Feel bad
life.
for
I'll
them.
tell you that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely feel bad. They'll go to Target. They don't even want the dinosaur action figures on the shelf. They want Minecraft and Fortnite. But no, I mean, I feel confident giving this a let's go 48 out of 100.
All right.
48 out of 100. And that 48 points goes straight to Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah.
Yep. But that was our somewhat uneventful review of 65.
It honestly
Tune in
feels good
on-
bashing a movie, man. I don't bash a lot of
does.
movies.
Not all
but-
movies are perfect. Nope.
No,
They're
that's true.
not, and this is one that it's not like we said, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's just my
No.
expectations were way higher. I was hoping
Yeah.
before I saw scores on this that I was walking out of here with like an 8, like somewhere in the 80s kind of score range, because I knew I wasn't gonna love it. It was never gonna be one of the 90 movies, but I was like, this has a lot of potential, and yeah, they just kind of did
was-
pretty much.
Dude, it's
most of it
literally
wrong.
dinosaurs in the future. A guy goes from the future, goes back in time. That could have been the plot. And
That's
then
what I
he's got
thought the
all
plot
this
was.
advanced technology, just like Alien versus Predator. And then we don't see any of that. They don't use any of that.
Nope.
It's just a complete letdown. Like you said, it's just wasted
So I
potential.
actually, I mean, we're closing out. I did like that was a little different take that they didn't do the time travel, even though that's what I anticipated.
Yeah.
I liked that it was
Yeah.
different, but like we said, we didn't get to see any of this advanced civilization from 60. We just see him on the beach with his wife, and they're
Yeah.
wearing sweatpants
Yeah.
and they're whistling. Is that what advanced societies do? They sit on the beach and whistle? I don't know. I'm just ranting now.
I don't know.
But
but yeah. I mean,
Tune-
hey, we don't knock you if you go and see this movie. We went and saw
Nope.
it. So
yeah, we
Yeah.
all saw it.
I mean, if you want to go,
Exactly.
maybe you love dinosaurs, or maybe you love Adam Driver, maybe you love the future. I don't know,
Exactly.
but or maybe you love shitty movies.
Yeah. Tune in
Definitely go watch
on
it.
Tuesday for Josh's pick, Birdman. He's got us doing here. But
Yep.
other than that, thank you. And
Yep.
I will I'll see you boys.
And hey, don't forget, we're on all platforms: YouTube, iHeartRadio,
Oh, yeah, we do get
Spotify,
some-
Apple
yeah.
Music, anything. And we also have our Discord. So head to our website and go become a
Check
member
us
of our
out.
Discord. Yes, sir.
All
Well,
right.
Sanch, appreciate you
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me,
Yes.
giving us your
boys.
time today.
Always a great time on Small
Yes,
Guys.
sir.
Yay.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
boys. Peace
See you,
out.
boys.